are just about complete. Shortly we will have the national anthems. And Jim Mills on the left and Clive Griffiths on the right. Griffiths, the coach, and Jim Mills is the Welsh team manager, both former Welsh internationals. Now the national anthems, beginning with Papua New Guinea. When the national anthem was sung at the Cardiff Arms Park, and there was a tear in his eye then. The Welsh take a bow in front of the packed terracing here, and the Welsh have certainly turned up in force to see this man, Jonathan Davies. The last time he was here at the Vetch Field in the 1990 Charity Shield, he ran in a hat-trick for Widnes. Now the toss tonight is very important, and it's the first time that a coin from the Papua New Guinea nation, the kina, worth about 60 pence in British money, has been used. It's a big psychological moment, this, for the tourists. On one side is the crocodile, on the other side birds of paradise. Tails for the crocodile and heads for the bird of paradise. There it is.
With the New Guinea bird on it will be heads, two crocodiles will be tails. Okay, you're the home side, you can toss, heads. Bird is a head. Come, run the way you are. Okay, all the best, fellas. All the best.
It's Welsh kick. That's what Jonathan Davies says. And the moment that the Welsh boys have waited for since they moved north to the big money of rugby league is almost upon them. It's the Welsh then to get us underway. And Jonathan Davies, needless to say, will be doing all the kicking for the Welsh tonight. His opposite number, the captain of Papua New Guinea, Stanley Haru. He comes from a big rugby league playing family, and there is the Welsh bench. So live and exclusive here on Sky Sports tonight, it's Wales against Papua New Guinea. The Welsh have come home. That's Wagambi, the centre. First touch for him. Ball spilled by Naipo. Moriarty swoops on it for the Welsh. Big match from Moriarty tonight. Who knows? He could be in the Great Britain side to face Papua at the end of the month.
Well, on the replay, you see Harrigan has shouted hell, but they continued through with a tackle. It'll be pretty tough and rough. These guys from Papua New Guinea, they're not slouches. They gave the Australians plenty on their recent tour.
And the crowd already in fine voice. Well, in rugby terms, they've not had much to shout about in the Valleys for a long, long time. I get the feeling, Mike, the Welshmen in this crowd tonight are here to enjoy themselves.
What a tremendous atmosphere. Spine-chilling stuff. And what a roar will go up if Jonathan Davis can put this easy penalty away.
Davis taking his time, practicing his kicks here yesterday, and the practice comes good. First points on the board from the boot of Jonathan Davis, and Wales are ahead by 2-0. That, Mike, could settle the nerves down.
It will help, there's no doubt about that. There is a little bit of doubt in regards to the Welsh forward pack.
In discipline at the kickoff, the Papua New Guineans straying offside at the kickoff. Penalty right on halfway. Davis not going to attempt a shot at goal, will go for territory instead. So the Papuans also obviously nervous.
It's a big night for them. A little bit over-eager there, as you said, a silly penalty given away.
This now is Mark Jones. Many of these Welsh forwards, Paul Moriarty probably the exception, not really established yet in their club sides. A night to savour for them as well, as Ellis spreads the ball out wide to David Bishop, but the ball is spilled. Bishop just trying to force it, and that is the winger Koru, and Harrigan has pinned Wales offside.
Coming up far too quickly there. Harrigan will give them more than the usual 5 yards that they're used to here. The Australian referees have a tendency to take them back well over the 5-metre mark.
Tuxi Karu, the tall stand-off half of Papua New Guinea, finds touch right on halfway. He really is a big man for a number 6. That's Koru, the winger. Behind him is Paglipari, the dummy half. This now is Naipo, the prop forward. Good tackling from the Welsh. The captain finds Karu. Here's Karu again. He really will dominate that centre area. Ball goes to ground. Neatly picked up though by the Papuans. This is Uradok, the winger. He's got some pace, this fellow. Gets the ball out wide, and the Papua New Guineans almost over for the first try. And that, Mike, really does show the Welsh they've got something to fear here.
Wonderful run here by the wingman Uradok. You called it that he had plenty of pace, and the support was there. Quite frankly, I thought a Welshman was pulling the Papua New Guinea back there onto the support play. Wales were lucky not to concede 4 points.
David Young driving his way downfield. They certainly have height and weight advantage, the Welsh. This now is Jonathan Griffiths. Good long ball to Devereux. John Devereux of Witness has some speed as well. High tackle on him by Sinimau. Ellis gets the ball to Jones. That's the 22-metre line of Papua New Guinea. Ellis and Davis. Moriarty, he's been doing this all season for Witness. Oh, but he almost got the ball out to Anthony Sullivan.
Wonderful run in here by Moriarty. He should really have fed forward. It wasn't the best pass there. The short ball was wanting. The gap was open. A missed opportunity there by Wales.
The Welsh pack down Ackerman and Barry Williams, the 2 men from the 2nd division from Carlisle in 9 and 11. A big night for them. They become Carlisle's first internationals. 2-0 to the Welsh. Jonathan Davis's penalty. 5 minutes gone. Paglipari on his own. Looking for support. That ball was knocked by a Welsh hand, so the tackle count is back to 6. They really will throw this ball around with gay abandon if they get the opportunity.
That's their style of play. You'll notice at every opportunity that the fullback, Philip Bogey, will try to chime into the three-quarter line.
And there's the man who makes them tick, the captain, the halfback, Stanley Haru, but that kick ahead from him, perfectly watched by his opposite number, Kevin Ellis. Now Sullivan. Ball in field to Mark Jones. Good tackling there from Tirry. The second row forward. This now is David Young.
The biggest problem for the Welsh side, of course, they haven't been together all that much. This Papua New Guinea side have just had competition against the Australian tourists, so their teamwork will be far superior than the Welsh.
But it's kick like that that will make the Papua New Guineans retreat to their own try line. And the winger Uradok has it. And he's got nowhere to go. Now Naipo. Prop forward. Good ball to Paglipari. Good break from him. Look at the way they spin the ball out whenever they possibly can. Bogey, the fullback, chiming in. There's the skipper, Haru. But that's untidy. Wagambi picked it up. Moriarty and Sullivan have him. Welsh crowd here tonight will like nothing more than to see a big Welsh victory. The Papuans have come here with high hopes. Bogey in possession. This now is Naipo. There's the tall standoff half Karu. He hacks it downfield. Sullivan collects it. Good run from Sullivan. Great break from Sullivan. The support is there from Davis. Watch the step. Ford in support. Great try, Wales. Phil Ford enjoyed that. Jonathan Davis and David Bishop. Look at the celebration. They enjoyed it. And the Welsh public, that's the sort of form that they love to see.
Wonderful play here from Sullivan to set Davis away. Look at that lovely step. The second rower, Thomas Darkey, had no chance. He draws the fullback Bogey, who dives in despair. The fullback for Wales, Ford, is on hand and in for the first Welsh try. He'll enjoy that. Look how they kept the ball alive here. Sullivan onto Davis. Wonderful player. Look at the step. Left the second rower just looking into thin air. Look at it here. He draws the fullback. Didn't even look for support. He knew that Ford was on hand. Lovely try.
Right under the sticks, Phil Ford. Try number 6 for the season for him. And Davis with this easy conversion attempt from right in front once again. For a kicker like Jonathan Davis, the Welsh captain. 10 minutes gone, Wales have an 8-point lead.
One thing is for sure, the crowd will certainly be entertained tonight. Both sides obviously eager to keep this ball alive.
But that is just the sort of start the Welsh wanted, Mike. And did you hear the roar? And hear it now as they come forward again.
Why not when you've got so much talent? Davis really is just a wonderful, wonderful rugby league player.
Williams, the hooker from 2nd Division Carlisle, stopped in his tracks. Let's go downstairs. Peter Hutton has got Gerald Caudle with him.
Gerald, what do you make of the first few minutes?
It's a great start for the boys. Just what we wanted, a try by Philip, good break by Anthony Sullivan. I just hope the lads keep it up, keep it going now. That's what we want.
You've been part of the Welsh build-up. How important is this game to the team?
Well, as we all know, it's the country's been on a bit of a downer with the football and the rugby union. This is very important to us.
That was a wonderful kick. We were just having a spot of bother there with our microphone pitch side. We'll get that sorted out. But Davis's kick, Mike, inch perfect again.
You can't get any closer than that. It always amazes me, such a slight fellow like Davis can kick a ball so far. It's all to do with timing. and he's one of the best in the game.
Scrum feed to the tourists. Referee Harrigan wants it to reform. Captain has it. Nerves from the captain. He has to touch down there behind his own try line as that ball spilled out. Bishop was onto it in a flash.
A little bit of a trouble here for Haru. Of course, let's not forget they're used to playing in humid conditions. Not that it's too cold here in Wales, but they're used to playing in very, very hot conditions indeed.
For you, the Papua management went out yesterday and bought 18 thermal vests. They're also having dreadful problems with their fingers and hands, and there was a suggestion at one stage they might wear gloves here tonight. But it's a very mild night in South Wales, and the Welsh are driving the way down the middle through David Young. Now is Williams. Ellis, lovely reverse pass to Ackerman. Ackerman sees the gap, goes for it, touches down. Great delight again all round this stadium and on the field. Another try to Wales. Rob Ackerman of Carlisle, the man from the second division. Nothing second division about that.
Lovely move here by Wales. You'll notice that the ball is switched both ways. There's the dummy run. Ackerman takes it. It was Moriarty that showed the dummy through. He was a dummy runner. Papua New Guinea failed to move up. He's such a big man and in for the try. Different angle. You'll notice he looks here. Look for Moriarty. There you saw him disappear. He took the defence back. You'll notice that the PNG did not move up. You can't do that with such a big fella like this. And his strength takes him over.
That's Rob Ackerman's third try of the season. One he'll remember for a long, long time. A dream start for the Welsh. And the conference underneath the posts. The Papua New Guineans are still in the dressing room. They've hardly got going. Davis with his third shot at goal. Another perfect kick. 14-0. What a start for the Welsh.
You'll see on the replay here. Let's move it along. Keep the thing going. Look at Ellis, the inside pass. Stop it there. There you'll see the dummy run. You'll notice that there's no PNG moving up, and that's the line of run. That's the way he went in for the try.
So Papua New Guinea restart, and Phil Ford has it from full-back. Great character, Phil Ford. The Welsh really have started impressively, particularly the forwards, Mike, and there were a lot of people saying that that could be the weak area for them.
Well, they've certainly adapted very well. They're running onto the ball, but they're being helped somewhat by the fact that the PNG side are waiting for them. They're not getting across that advantage line and putting the defence to them.
Moriarty feeds it to Bishop. Bishop can't cling on, has to surrender possession.
Well, it really was a wasted pass. They're trying to force it now. The confidence is really high on the Welsh side.
And Papua New Guinea haven't really got started. I know, Mike, having been here for training yesterday, we'll know they will be bitterly disappointed.
The thing that the big problem, not only just in the defence, they always have a problem with their kicking game. And of course, the kicking game is a big facet in rugby league in modern day.
They only flew in to this country on Thursday. Perhaps that's a factor in the shaky start that they've made, but look at the way they love to fling that ball around, give it plenty of air. This is Bogey, the fullback. On that far side is the winger Koru. Quarter of an hour gone, 14-0 to the Welsh. Kick ahead, charge down. Well charged down by Davis. The two captains together then. Sullivan showing the pace why St Helens paid £80,000 for his signature from Hull Kingston Rovers. Look at the big striding number 8 Mark Jones of Hull. A couple of these forwards, as I say, not established yet in the first division. Ellis certainly is. So too is Bateman. That was the Warrington connection. Bishop, the dummy half. Moriarty gives it to Griffiths. Another try for Wales. Wonderful play from them. They've come here determined to show the rugby union and the Welsh what they're missing, and they're turning on a show and a half.
This play came about after that wonderful run by Ellis. We'll see here that Moriarty feeds a lovely ball here. Good support play by the standoff, Jonathan Griffiths. Look at this run by Ellis. He just scythed through. That is a problem that the PNG, they'll have to rectify very quickly. Now, it's from this play of the ball. This is good thinking. Bishop is claiming for him. Play quickly. There you see, this is a beautiful pass. Good support play. Defence split, quite simple.
Jonathan Griffiths with the try. That's his second of the season, a season already interrupted by injury. But if his coach Mike McLennan is watching back home in St Helens, Griffiths looks back and looks sharp. Now Jonathan Davis, he's already kicked 3 successfully. This could be number 4. And Jonathan Davis could well be on his way to a new Welsh record here. Most goals in a match, only 7 by Johnny Thomas in 1908. Davis just misses with that one, but he has 3 under his belt already, and the Welsh have an 18-point lead.
What a great start by the Welsh here. Let's see on this replay. Ellis scythes through with a little bit of a run round there. Let's keep it running again. Look at this beautiful ball. Then the ball comes off. Now from the play of the ball, you'll see that the Papua New Guinea defence is all at sea. Let's just pull it out a little bit further from the play of the ball. Here it comes, and you'll see it come now. Let's stop it there. You see the defence. They're not moving up, and that is going to be a huge problem for them.
Wales have the possession from the kickoff with the hooker, Williams. Drop forward is David Young. Good ball to Sullivan. Sullivan pirouetting on that far side. 1, 2, 3 Papua New Guineans, and he still managed to take them forward another 3 or 4 metres. Griffiths. Gisby and the standoff Karu bring him down. That's the last tackle. Davis. A high bomb. One to test bogey. It's a great kick. Bogey equal to it. My word, look at the number of Welshmen who moved up on the fullback here.
Wonderful play by the fullback. That is calm, cool and collected. I've been quite impressed with this lad.
The ball has been dropped though. Bateman's in the corner. Alan Bateman of Warren, but the referee pulls it back. No try, offside. And the crowd want more and more from this Welsh team. They're booing the Australian official.
Well, you can see there that Bateman, having taken this ball, they tried to force it again. That is a big problem that the PNG have as well. But referee Bill Harrigan stating that the Welsh side made no attempt to get back in defence, and rightly so gave the penalty.
The tourists forcing the pass there, almost paying the big penalty. As it is, the lead stays 18 points. Now is Tiri, the second row forward. Aglapari, the little barrel-chested hooker. Naipo. Shoulder charge by Paul Moriarty. Williams around him as well. There's Haru. Now Wagambi trying to dart through a little gap. Pulled back by the collar by Jonathan Davis. Davis with Koru, the winger. Good tackling, Davis and Jonathan Griffiths. Midway through the half, 18-0 to the Welsh. Haru and Naipo. Bogey almost dropped it. Lucky to get away with that. He didn't get away with it. It's a knock-on. It could have been worse.
Good play by Devereux. He went right in on the fullback bogey, gave him no opportunity at all. They love their rugby league though in Papua New Guinea. They like to have it fancy, keep the ball alive.
Yes, it's a national sport in Papua New Guinea, rugby league. Good driving run again from Jones. Really been impressed by these two prop forwards, Young and Jones, in the early stages of this match already. Ellis, little short pass to Ackerman, one try from him. Ellis. Now Bateman. Unloads the ball in the tackle to Kevin Ellis. Phil Ford takes it over. And Ford trying to go ahead himself. Gisby, the lock forward, stood in his way. Ford milked it for all it was worth, but Harrigan unimpressed.
Bit of a wasted effort here. He made no attempt to try to go around the player. Good refereeing. It was not going to be conned, but that was a wasted effort by Ford.
Former Great Britain international Phil Ford. Very much a current Welsh international here tonight, though. Playing dangerous stuff. There's the coach, Skerry Palanga, a worried man at this stage, I would suggest. Little chip over the top. Ellis read it perfectly. The captain, Stanley Harrow, trying to get his team moving, get them motivated. But Devereux on his way. Good tackling now by Uradok, the winger. Pulled him down. Ellis again. Williams. Still Williams. His strength taking him to within a metre of that Papua line. Now Ellis, not the best pass in the world, but it was made a good pass by the little Warrington halfback. Last tackle coming up. That's the tourist posts, but the Welsh are right underneath. Ellis, his chip ahead, bounced back. Ball went back, so Wales can keep it going. Moriarty keeps the ball alive. It's still the last tackle, says the referee. And Mark Jones was hauled down by Naipo.
Got a little bit confused there, did Wales. They're trying to be a little bit too smart. They should have elected for the kick.
Naipo again, trying to walk through David Bishop, but David Bishop having none of it. Paglipari, this now is Caro. Look at the size of him for a stand-up half. Tiri, good ball back. It's the winger Coro. They give it plenty of air. This is what Gamby saw a little gap, and the gap was closed by Bateman. Good tackling. Gisby. Naipo again. Nothing else to do other than kick it over the top. Sullivan still. He's got great pace, this boy. Here's another try, and it's right under the sticks, and that's one his dad would be proud of. Anthony Sullivan of St Helens in Wales. As soon as he got the ball, he was heading for the whitewash, and wouldn't his late great father Clive have loved that?
Wonderful play here. He had to go past three men. Good step there. Look how determined he wants to be. The defence was all at sea. They both went down low, but he had the strength to push them away. Anthony Sullivan will enjoy this. But this all came about by a bad kick by Naipo. I mentioned earlier that they can't kick their ball all that well. That was a weak kick. Sullivan was back to take it. The space was there. Sinamau couldn't get to him. The hooker, look at him, Paglipari, trying his best to get there, but hookers can't beat guys like this. Look at the sheer grace. This is the reason why St Helens forked out all the money. Great try.
Anthony Sullivan, his 6th try of the season, and here's the conversion attempt from Jonathan Davis. Right under the sticks, no problem to a kicker of his quality. And so it's now Wales 24, Papua New Guinea 0. Jonathan Davis's 4th kick successfully this evening. Stand by with the record books again on Sky Sports tonight.
It really hasn't been the best opening by the Papua New Guinea tourists. A little bit of a problem with their defensive pattern. Probably take them a little bit of a time. I'm sure that their coach, Scary Palanga, will have plenty to say at the half-time break. He needs to.
I wonder how many of the Welshmen in this crowd, Mike, will be thinking now, as the World Cup finalists now in rugby union are known, if only.
It's a big if, but it's cost the rugby league clubs a lot of money to make sure that that if has really hurt the Welsh rugby union.
Great pride in this Welsh team, great determination, great pride in the tourist team as well, but they simply at the moment can't match this Welsh endeavour and spirit. Another mistake. Ellis has it for Wales. Thundered to the floor quite unceremoniously. It was the prop forward Unagi who dropped that ball. This now is Young again. Unagi doing the tackling, trying to retrieve some of the damage. Ellis, that's a good ball to Davis. The step again. Oh, that's quite breathtaking. What a great player Jonathan Davis is. Brilliant step, left the defence for dead, and Davis with another try.
Wonderful try here, and you cannot allow a man like Ellis. He does the run round. Look, there's no pressure onto him, but this man is all class. Lovely step inside. The defence is all at sea. You'll see Ellis coming to it here. He's having a field day. Round he goes. Griffiths gives him it back. Beautiful pass. One step. Here's the second one. See you later, boys. Number 4. Lovely. Ellis, he really is controlling things out there. Good support play. And a man of this calibre with such speed and step, that says it all.
A hat-trick last time he appeared here for Widnes in the Charity Shield against Wigan in 1990. And if he kicks this, he equals the Welsh record for points in a test match. 14 by Johnny Thomas of Wigan in 1908 and Paul Woods of Widnes in 1978. He's equalled the record. 14 points on the night for Jonathan Davis, 30 to Wales, and the Papuans are being swamped.
A lot of problems there for their coach. The Welsh side have really impressed me. Their teamwork is excellent, and Griffiths and Ellis in the half-back positions really are taking control out there.
Remember, the Welsh coming into this after losing 11 straight test matches. I think that run is about to come to an end here in Swansea tonight.
Never any doubt about that from the opening try in my mind.
And yet there was much talk in Swansea that the Papuans really would test this Welsh team, particularly up front, but running like that from Moriarty has quite simply pushed the tourists further and further back towards their own line. Look at the time that Davis has to pick his spot. He only found Uradok the winger, but Bateman followed up with the tackle.
Good positioning there by Uradok the winger. It really was gone into a good position. He's one of the few to impress me so far. Has a lot of speed.
Wagambi. The support is there. And that's the centre, Sinimau. Uradok, the dummy half. Bogey. This now is Naipo. And Wagambi is flat out on this near side as play continues. Paglipari trying to force the issue again, has surrendered possession to Davis, sent 3 men the wrong way then, but eventually it brought to ground as Wagambi gets treatment for a bang on those dreadlocks. Barry Williams. Well,
there you see how the forwards are making that advantage line at will. They're making 10, 15 metres.
The applause is for Wagambi. He's fit to carry on. This is Devro, brought down by Uradok. Griffiths in at dummy half. Ellis takes the ball above his head. Now David Bishop. How he'd love to get in on the scoring act too. Last tackle. Wagambi is fit. Ellis. Chip over the top. Bogey read it perfectly. And Ellis followed up and made a copybook tackle.
Nice take by the fullback. But I suspect, Eddie, that Bogey will have plenty of work to do in the second half. This Welsh side is really fired up.
Wales ahead by 30 points to 0, remember. And this first half, on my watch, just 31 minutes old. Neat kick ahead under pressure. And look at the speed of the winger, Koru. And that was good tackling back by Sullivan. But the referee has pinned the winger for offside.
Referee Harrigan deeming that Koru is not that quick. He just was a couple of yards in front.
But that is a little lesson there for the Welsh.
And it is. There you can see. There's a man. He was a couple of yards offside. Harrigan had him right.
Lesson there for the Welsh, Mike. They mustn't relax against this team.
No, they can't afford to do that. But I mean, when you've got so many points, it's pretty hard for them. They're probably looking towards a half-time break for that rest. The Welsh have put a lot into it in the opening minutes.
Sullivan clinging on for the Welsh. Williams the dummy half. That there is David Young. Good defence from Gisby and Naito to keep him out. Listen to the noise from the Welsh team as they shout and call to each other. This is good play. Keeping the pressure on all the time. Ellis, reverse pass to Davis. Davis with a side kick ahead. That's good covering by Naipo. Unagi, it's Paglapari rather. He's lost that scrum cap of his. Now Naipo again. Good challenging from the Welsh. Here's Caro. Tackle Davis. Caro the dummy half. Last tackle. Harrow again, lays it back to Harrow as captain. Harrow. Devro touches it. Better be quick. Uradok is steaming up behind him. There he is. And he's got there, John Devro. Good running by the winger. Phil Ford now. Jinking, stepping. Very elusive character to bring down the Leeds fullback.
That gives you some indication of the poor kicking game from the PNG side, is that was only the second time that they'd been in the Welsh quarter.
Jonathan Griffiths showing them how to kick downfield. Uradok has to dive on it. Bogey, the full-back, and Griffiths is there to pin him with Bateman. Well, they're losing none of their appetite for this, Wales. That's not a bad little kick, though, ahead by Wagambi. Ellis is there. Wagambi is around him, but Ellis left him for dead with that little sidestep. Now, Jonathan Davis again. Ford. Say every time Davis gets the ball, this crowd really does come alive. Wales back in the tourists' quarter. 5 minutes of ordinary time in this first half to go. Bishop gets the ball away to Sullivan. He brings it in to Jones. Jones keeping the ball alive, only just finds Young. Ellis. Good ball to Ackerman. One try from him already tonight. The Welsh lining up on this near side if it comes this way, and it does. That's Williams. Good ball to Bateman. Another try. They were lining up outside here. All they had to do was move the ball out wide. The call was there from Bateman, and the Warrington centre over for a simple try.
Keep the ball alive, let it do the work for you. The hooker, a nice little pass here. Bateman came through in for the try. But I must say, if you take a look at this section, look how the PNG defence, they're hanging back, they're not going forward and putting the pressure on. And I'm afraid that's how the gaps appear quite easy. Watch the hooker, he's got a lot of space. No, he go to him. Not the best pass, taken on the half volley. Good play by the centre Bateman, and the Warrington man will be pleased with that.
It's his first try of the season too. He will be very pleased indeed, as will all the Welsh contingent here. And certainly this man, if this one goes over, because he's about to rewrite the records here. If this goes through the woodwork, Jonathan Davies becomes the new, and he does, the new leading point scorer for his country in rugby league. 36-0. They're on their way to another record.
This is where the problems lie. Let's just stop it here. You see, they're not moving forward. They're running across. That is no good in a defence near the line.
Just a bit of news from the touchline on Paul Moriarty to put the Widnes fans at ease. He is wearing a strapping on his left knee, but the Welsh bench assure us it's not serious. They've been out to look at him a couple of times, but he is okay and will play on.
And the Welsh will play on with Sullivan. He's got him licked for pace. Here's another one for Wales under the sticks. And the Welsh are about to write another record. Sullivan's second try of the night. Great play again from the St Helens winger.
But also good play by David Bishop. Let's not forget Bishop. This is his first full game this season, and he still has enough, look at that, he still has enough pace to make the break. Feeds very nicely indeed to Anthony Sullivan. I'm afraid that Kuru hasn't got the class or the speed to stop this man. He's a stylish runner, wonderful to watch. And yet another Welsh try. Different angle. Ford keeps the ball alive. There's the loose forward, Bishop. Look at those beefy legs. Drew the fullback perfectly. See you later, he says, Kuru. I've got the speed. And Sullivan, like his father years ago, doing it best.
Anthony Sullivan's second try of the night. Jonathan Davies added the conversion. It's a new record score for Wales, 42-0. Their previous highest was 41 points to 7 against France at Llanelli in 1935. That was also the widest margin. The Welsh are in the mood to hammer the records home against the poor old Papua New Guineans here tonight. And there's no let-up in the pressure whatsoever. Ellis. Long raking pass, bounced perfectly for Moriarty. Ford's in. Another try. This has been a destruction in the first half. And that's Phil Ford's second for his country here tonight. His 7th of the season. The Welsh are having a field day.
And so is this guy, Kevin Ellis. He really is controlling things. And when you start getting second rowers out in the centres like that, we already saw Bishop, the lock forward, feeding Sullivan. This time it's Ford. Moriarty running out wide. Ellis, the long ball, not the best, but it bounces there. They're all eager now. They're all wanting to run. Ford, good support play. But I'm afraid this Papua New Guinea defence is just being shot to pieces.
Phil Ford, the sole survivor from the last international that Wales played in 1984 against England at Evervale, when the Welsh were taken apart, has really rubbed salt in the tourist wounds here. It's 46-0 now, and if Davis kicks this, well, it's just wide of the post. It stays at 46-0 right on half-time. What a tremendous display from this reborn Welsh team. Davis has led the way with a record-breaking performance. The Welsh here in South Wales are loving this.
To the veg as the band plays on after Wales's terrific first half of this game. They're 46-0 in front against Papua New Guinea. That's the situation here in Wales, but what about the situation across the three divisions of the Stones Bidder Championship? Let's start with the first division scores from all today's games. Castleford 22, Featherstone 20, Hull KR 23, Wakefield 4. Hull KR recovering from last week's mauling. Leeds come back to draw against St Helens 8-8. Morven Edwards and Gary Devorty getting late tries for them. Salford do the double over Hull, 26-8 winners today, and Wigan 40, Halifax 18. That's the first division scores. What's it mean for the table? Well, that Saints draw takes them top. Widnes don't play today. Wigan's win pushes them up to third. Of course, they play a Sky game next Sunday night live against Leeds. At the bottom, Salford's win pushes them away from the bottom two, where Bradford and Swinton remain entrenched. Two Division 2 games today. Oldham 12, Sheffield 38, and Workington 4, London Crusaders 10. That means for the table, Sheffield go 3 points clear thanks to the win against their nearest contenders in Division 2. Division 3 games today. Wins for Barrow, for Hunslet, Dewsbury, Bramley, Batley, Huddersfield under Alex Murphy, 70-0 against Trafford, and the win as well for Keighley over bottom place Nottingham. So at the top of the table, Dewsbury and Hunslet still the joint leaders. They're just 1 point ahead of Batley though. All those three sides win today.
Thanks very much, Peter. Yes, despite the fact that we've got the international here at Swansea today, there is a full programme, of course, in the Stones Bidder Championship. Now then, to our ever-popular Throwing Stones feature, which, as we progress in this season, really does grow and grow in popularity every week. This week, we look at the possible introduction of 4 substitutes and the Martin Offiah affair at Widnes. Now, if you were with us last week, you remember that poor old Hull Kingston Rovers were reduced to 10 men for much of the second half of their match against Halifax. It resulted in a real mauling by Halifax in that second half, and so the question of 4 substitutes again comes up. Now then, the point is taken up by Mr. Collins from St Helens in Lancashire. He says if 4 subs were allowed instead of the present 2, we'd have had a less one-sided game on Sunday. Well, I think it's safe to say, Mike Stevenson, so say all of us as far as that's concerned. 4 subs, it's about time.
Yes, I said it last week and I've certainly got to say it again. The league's got to do something very quickly about it.
Because it was a real mauling, wasn't it, for poor old Rovers?
Well, it was so one-sided. Maybe Papua New Guinea will bring 4 substitutes on in the second half. Who knows?
Yeah, it's worth making the point that in international football, 4 subs are allowed, and so the coach of Papua New Guinea can actually make a couple of changes here tonight if he so wishes. Right, now on to the Martin Offiah business, and Offiah has said for the past 5 months that he doesn't want to play for Widnes again, and it's a shame because this is the sort of form that Martin Offiah produces when he plays the great game of rugby league. Widnes say they don't want to sell him. He has a contract with still 6 years to run, and the situation has prompted a letter from Mr. D. Fell of Keysden in Lancashire. He says, I can't tell you how angry I was to hear that Widnes Rugby League Club are refusing to let Martin Offiah transfer to another club. I just hope they don't push things too far, because if they do, he may leave the sport altogether. Well, I understand what you're saying, but let's be fair, Offiah has got a 6-year contract with Widnes. If Widnes want to dig their heels in, Mike, he's got nowhere to go.
And the fact is that, let's not forget, Widnes was the man that made him a star. So he owes them a little bit. Look, a contract is there to help both the player and the club. You can't just throw it away. It's there.
The trouble is, of course, he could be lost to the game, and the Australian tour is coming up at the end of this season. Something has got to give somewhere, hasn't it?
Well, let's hope that common sense does prevail in the end. I mean, Great Britain need him, Widnes need him, Rugby League needs a man like Martin O'Fire. And I suppose it's a bit like a marriage breakdown. Probably better to get into divorce.
Yeah, but I do feel sorry for poor old Widnes. They seem to have done everything absolutely right. And if you've got any views on the Martin O'Fire business, please drop us a line to the usual address, Throwing Stones mailbag. We'll have it for you in a minute, will we? No, Grant's Way, 6 Grant Way, Isleworth in Middlesex. So drop us a line. We're always delighted to hear from you. Thanks very much for all your letters so far. Well, 46-0 here at the Vetch. The Welsh are in great mood. 8 first half tries. More to come, I fancy, in the second half. Don't go away. We'll be back in a few moments. Okay. Field 46-0. There's that address for you in case you missed it just before half-time. Throwing Stones, Sky Sports, 6 Grants Way, Isleworth, Middlesex, TW7 5QD. Roland Phillips of Warrington comes on for Paul Moriarty of Widnes. Moriarty, as Peter Hutton was telling you, had the knee strapped and bandaged. He has had horrific knee problems, has the big Widnes forward, but his loss is Roland Phillips' gain. He gets his Welsh Rugby League cap. David Young's view of proceedings here at the Vetch. And I noticed too that the Papuans have made a change. Chris Etam is on in 15. And I think the man to go off is the winger Koru. Yes, Joshua Koru is off and Chris Etam is on this near side of the field. So a couple of little changes by the two coaches, and the Welsh public here will want more of the same, Mike Stevenson, because they've not had much to shout about in this part of the world. We mustn't labour the point too much as far as rugby union and soccer is concerned for quite some time.
The Welsh public love to see tries scored, and I'm certain that they're not going to be disappointed. And there seems to be something in there. You can see a bit of a high tackle. Touch judge in straight away. Looks like Mr. Tiri was the culprit. There's a hooker, Paglipari,
and he's the man who was talked to by the referee. Anyway, it's a penalty to Wales, which they've taken. They've deposited the ball into touch, as you've seen, and Mark Jones has gone on one of those marauding runs down the middle. Again, Wales on the attack and hungry for more. Here's Young. David Young joined Leeds in his career, rescued by Salford in the First Division. Bishop from Hull Kingston Rovers. Good side-stepping run from Bishop. The support is there, and the support from Young, but the referee, has he given the try? No, it's a scrum down.
Good play here by Bishop. It really has been a bit of a live wire to say that he's been out of the game for so long. Young charging over, but the referee Harrigan claiming the ball not grounded.
So Gisby is able to run the ball from the base of the scrum, but not with Ackerman round his knees. Ooh, there was a little left hook swung in there, and the touch judge rightly is on, and David Young was the offender. No doubt about that. Bill Harrigan will want a word.
Well, the prop forward, Yanagi, he got a nice little welcome to the British Isles by that fellow there. Not the prettiest of men to look at sometimes, these rugby league forwards, but a little bit too over-ambitious and a little bit too high with the tackle.
Penalty to Papua New Guinea. They'll restart, as you'll see, 10 metres in from touch. There's another ball on the field there. That's why there was the slight delay. This now is the substitute, Etam. Paglipari just waving his players round the back of him so as the Welsh couldn't see. I don't think they needed to have O-levels, and look at the power there. Didn't need O-levels to guess which way they'd be going. The prop forward, Unagi, stopped by 3 Welsh tacklers. Phillips leading from the front, straight into the action. It's now a Sinimau. Jim Mills, former Welsh international himself, now the Welsh team manager. That's Naipo. The tourists simply must get this ball and must start to fling it around with a bit more abandon than they did in that first half. That's good pressure play from them, and that's great interception by Davis. The captain playing a captain's part.
Well, it really was a wasted chance here. This is the type of play that they enjoy, but this was a silly pass there by the hooker. He should have gone down and taken possession. That's been one of their problems. Papua New Guinea are not respecting possession, and it's very rare that we've found in this game that they've actually played out the 6 tackles.
Looks like it might be Jonathan Davis's night here in Swansea again. Supporting the attack, helping out the defence, and doing the kicking too. This is Bogey, the fullback. Uradok, the winger. Paglipari, the dummy half. That's a good step. This is better from Papua. 46-0. It's a huge hill to climb. But the tourists have come out, Mike, and in the opening 5 minutes here, they've shown a lot more than they did throughout. Oh, dear me. Apart from that, it looks like I might have stiffened them. Poor old Paglipari. But it looks like they've come out with their coach's words ringing in their ears.
Without a doubt, a little bit of a mistake there, but they are making a little bit more ground. But they really have to settle down and respect this possession. It really is panic stuff by them.
Good tackling by Wagambi on Phil Ford. Bishop. Wagambi, the man around Bishop's ankles. Ellis and Ackerman. Mark Jones taking the ball in where it hurts. Ellis, Griffiths, Davis, Griffiths again. Good ball to Bateman. Good support play from Griffiths. Keeps it moving, Phillips. Almost unloaded to Ford. That's the last tackle. Ellis, Bishop, Davis.
I suppose you can attempt this sort of thing. A cheeky little pass inside, but it didn't fool the referee, Harrigan.
That's Darkey, the second row forward. This now is Unagi, the prop forward. 3 Welsh tacklers to greet him. They really are giving them a welcome in the valleys, aren't they? Sloppy play again, though, from Papua. Bogey couldn't get to it.
Not the best pass by the 5'8" Karu.
We're sorry about the loss of sound. We're doing our best to cure the fault, and in the meantime we'll continue with pictures only. We're sorry about the loss of sound. We're doing our best to cure the fault, and in the meantime we'll continue with pictures only. We're sorry about the loss of sound. We're doing our best to cure the fault, and in the meantime, we'll continue with pictures only. We're sorry about the loss of sound. We're doing our best to cure the fault, and in the meantime, we'll continue with pictures only.
With him that much, and that has been another problem that their coach Kenny Palanga must look at. You have to respect possession in this game.
12 errors from Papua New Guinea, and the Welsh, such a disciplined display from them, they've made only 5. Here's Mark Jones. Noticed his team Hull lost today in the First Division. If Noel Cleo's watching this on Humberside and might fancy putting him in next week. Well, a big apology to you all watching at home for the loss of sound. Back with you now. What a commentary they've missed, Mike. Last tackle. Davis. Bogey underneath it. Davis following his own kick up, bringing the full back to ground. He's Gisby. Much more shouting from the Papua New Guineans in this second half, trying to rescue something from the wreckage of the first 40 minutes.
Well, there's definitely been an improvement by Papua New Guinea in the second half, but they still have a lot to do, especially in defence. They cannot afford to go through this tour of Great Britain without getting this defence sorted out.
Papua have made another change. Peter Hutton's got the details.
The man about to come on is Michael Angra at number 17.
But here come Papua New Guinea. Oh, again they simply release the ball, and Ford is after another try. Oh, he's come down this wing. He's got Hadley in support. Wagambi, great tackle. Ellis, Bishop, number 2 for Bishop, under the stick. There was a hit. Oh no, the referee's called it all back. Bishop celebrating. The referee is at the other end of the field. It's no try. Bishop thinks he scored a second. It's no try. The referee has pulled them back. The celebrations are short-lived. It was for a knock-on, I think.
Definitely knock-on. Wonderful play by Papua New Guinea. Their best passage of play. It came to ground, and you'll just see Ford. That's the little one. Wasn't much. But referee Harrigan, the Australian, said that fingertip was enough. He's the man that's the boss. It's a shame the crowd went berserk. Wonderful support play as well. Ford showed the speed out wide, and Bishop, who's reveling in this game, he pointed to the crowd for the accolades. He got them.
Phil Ford can't believe it. Oh, well, he said it was a fingertip, the referee. And poor old David Bishop, he thought he'd scored the try. Look at him, living every moment of it.
You beauty, he said, and Harrigan is 90 metres further down the field saying, you beauty, come back.
That was great support play, Mike, from a fellow who's been out of the game for a year.
he's very hungry to get back into the game, and that can only really be good for not only himself, but of course for Hull Kingston Rovers.
Lovely handling skills on view here, meanwhile, from the Papua New Guineans. But the referee has blown again. And Wales are about to make another substitution.
Well, there you saw on the replay another mistake by the Papua New Guineans.
Two substitutions happening. The Welsh substitution is Wales number 17, Gary Pearce. He comes on for number 9, Barry Williams. Whereas the Papuan substitution is number 17, Michael Angra, coming on for one of their stars, Joe Gisbert, the loose forward.
What a moment for Pearce and also for Scarborough Pirates, Rugby League's newest club. They now boast an international in Gary Pearce.
Yeah, I think so. It's just Barry Williams.
Bishop, good play. Ford again. Basketball style to Devereaux.
Oh, with me, Barry Williams of Wales. Barry, what was it like out there?
Oh, tremendous, brilliant. Never played in such a big game in my life. Atmosphere is great. The crowd got behind us.
The Welsh side seemed determined not to concede a point now.
No, well, that's what we said. Like, we're going to nil them, and so that's hopefully what we're going to do.
You can really see the enjoyment out there, though. David Bishop just a moment ago seemed gutted that try got disallowed.
Yeah, well, it's brilliant. Like, just want to get more points and, you know, keep the Wales team going for a long time.
Phil Ford is going to touch down here, and that is Phil Ford's hat-trick. 3 tries for the Leeds man, and he says to referee Harrigan, "You're not going to disallow that one, are you?" And Harrigan says he certainly isn't. The hat-trick for Ford.
This man again starts it all. Ellis, the architect. Look at that little switch pass inside. The substitute, there he goes, Hadley. Back inside, up it pops. Good support play by the fullback. He places it down. Whoa! Did his hand touch the white? Let's see. Well, he looked at Harrigan. Maybe this dive, I think his hand actually hit the chalk mark first.
Well, it's not been struck off. Phil Ford has a hat-trick to his name. And Bill Harrigan was right on the spot. Davis has another conversion attempt then. Right-footed kicker. He is, of course. It's on exactly the right side of the field. Oh, but he's pulled it. Well, he will be disgusted with that. But he has a little smile just the same. 60 points to 0 to the Welsh. And a note about Phil Ford, a hat-trick tonight. 8 tries now from Ford in his last 5 games. Fancy we might see him in action next week here on Sky Sports when it's the big one. Wigan against Leeds. Ellery Hanley's return to Central Park. You can enjoy it live and exclusive only on Sky Sports. Same time next week.
And I'm sure Mr. Ford will be expecting a little bit more tougher tackling next Sunday.
I think he might get it too. Another substitute, number 16. This is Angra. He's about to come on. Leslie Hoffman was the substitute who came on a few moments ago for Gisby. And he's going to come on for Wagambi. Meanwhile, he'll have to wait a while until he's given the opportunity to get in on the action. But they're mixing and maxing, and 60 points to 0 down, no wonder, eh?
Well, he's got to use all his substitute, as I say. They've got to try to work themselves into it. They've got to make something out of this, well, rather disappointing opening game. They'll not be happy with their performance. So they must try to just keep it together, get a bit of enthusiasm. But this Welsh tackling is still coming in as strong as it was when we first kicked off.
60-0, the Welsh lead. The widest margin against Papua New Guinea was 62 points in that international against Australia at Wagga Wagga. So the Welsh, they are on the verge again of another record here. That was good chasing though by Carew, and Phil Ford's taken a bang there as he collected that ball.
Well, that was one of the few times that the Papua New Guinean, Carew there, put pressure on Ford. And he come off second best with the Leeds full-back.
And Phil Ford is, I think, going to come off. Good handling skills from Devereaux. Stretched out the hand, and the ball just stuck to him. Ellis, here's Phillips. Handing the man off in the tackle. Phil Ford has said he's not coming off. He's enjoying this night so much, he'll run any little injury off. Bishop. Now then, can Bishop? Oh, great take from Bishop. He's created a try for Hadley. David Bishop is back in a big way. And Adrian Hadley, 27 rugby union caps for his country, has touched down as a substitute. But what a play this was from Bishop.
Wonderful individual stuff here. Pinpoint little kick over. It got the bounce. It came back. Amazingly took it with one hand. He was grappling for it. But good support play by Hadley. No one at home. And that really was a good try. Didn't they go berserk? Different angle. I'm going on my own, he said. He knew exactly what he was going to do before he actually received that ball. He saw that the Papua New Guinea defence, there was no sweeper. There was only the fullback. And that is an easy try for the substitute, Hadley.
Great try from Hadley. 7 in the season now for the Salford player. But this is the man who made it. Was really looking forward to this night here at Swansea, and Phil Ford has come off to a great round of applause and great laughter and guffaws on that Welsh bench. Substituted Matthew Silver of Halifax with 16. He will play out the last 10 minutes or so. All 4 of the Welsh substitutes now on the field, and Jonathan Davis with this kick to improve that excellent try from Adrian Hadley. Just goes wide of the post this time. Difficult kick, but this now is the widest margin against Papua New Guinea. If it stays like this in the next 5 minutes, it'll be a new record, heaviest, widest margin defeat.
The Welsh still hungry for more points. 5 minutes to go in this game, and there's no one leaving the Vetch field. The Welsh crowd thoroughly enjoying this.
So's that fellow. 3 grand finals. Bit different to the grand final in Sydney, Mike. But we've just been getting the calculator out up here, and you have enjoyed 148 points on Sky Sports over the past 2 weeks. So if you want fast, flowing, open rugby, this is the place. That was a little knock on.
Doesn't take much, but it was enough.
Bishop and the number 16, Angra, squaring up. Angra getting angrier and angrier. It's frustration, I think.
I think it is. They're bitterly disappointed, I can assure you of that. They came with so much courage and anticipation of a very good tour. They'll get better, that there's no doubt. There'll be a lot of work done in the next 2 or 3 days. Their coach will give them plenty.
Mike, is it a question of... Oh, we'll just break off from that as Bogey makes a little break. And he has found the substitute Lapan. 3 minutes to go. Papua, 10 metres short of that Welsh line. Can they get a consolation try? He's going on his own, the big fella. That's Carew. Nepau gives it to Kiri. And that ball, well, I was going to say that ball wasn't played, but Paglapari at dummy half going on his own. Oh, he was just a metre or so short. Still, they haven't finished. Bogey running straight. Wales are screaming for the players to come over and support the defence. There's Lepan. Last tackle, last chance. They've dropped it, Paglapari. On the last tackle, it's the turnover. Mike, that point I was going to make, is it a question that the Welsh are so good, or have they caught Papua cold straight off the plane?
I think they've caught them cold, and I think that I mentioned earlier that the fact that you cannot afford to just squander possession. It is so vital. They've never got into a position where they could take control, get into any sort of game pattern, and it's just been the fact that a little bit of individual play that's really got them anywhere on tonight's performance.
The way Mark Jones has run and run all night.
But in saying that, Eddie, let's not take anything away from the Welsh side. They really came out with fire. They really wanted to win this game, and they've done it convincingly, and they're still running with a lot of gusto.
Ellis. Well picked up by Devereux. Last tackle this. Anything special from the Welsh? No, just grubber kick along the 4 from Kevin Ellis. A night of stars here in Wales. Ellis has shone as bright as any of them. Would he be your man of the match? Or would it be Phil Ford, who I think has been given the man of the match award here at Swansea tonight? Ford, the hat-trick hero, but Ellis has really worked hard in that number 7 jersey. There's the man of the match. Guns and all.
Well, they've all played well. I've been very impressed with the Welsh side, actually. Their teamwork has been excellent. Let's not forget in that first half, they put on at least 5 or 6 different moves. They were switching the ball, doing the run rounds, and completely mesmerised Papua New Guinea.
Another mistake, and right in front of their own post, and look at the way Sinimau, the centre, throws that ball down in disgust. They know better than anyone that they've not done themselves justice here tonight.
Well, the look said it all, didn't it? Wouldn't like to meet that fella in the dark alley at night.
No one going home from here, though, as Davis sets on an angled run. Oh, he's come back off the player and touches down. That's the icing on the cake for the Welsh captain. Davis with the try from the scrum in front of the posts, and Davis took it on his own.
Speed out wide, acceleration from a standing start, and he's only a small fellow, but instead of squeezing through, upper body strength. Watch this, he'll go in with his tighten his shoulders. In he goes, and he just pushes poor old Etam out of the way, and in for a try. You don't have to be too big in this game of rugby league, but you have to be tough and strong.
Davis has now scored 24 of his side's 68 points. That includes 2 tries. I think he enjoys coming back to the Vetch field. 20 seconds of normal time to go. Davis with this conversion attempt doesn't make it. 68-0. We're right on full time. It's the widest losing margin for the Papua New Guinea tourists. They look like they've had enough. There's no hurry for them to get this game underway again. Not the record score against them, though. That's 71 points scored by the Australians. But Wales have run in 68 without reply. It's the widest winning margin. And the Welsh haven't finished yet. We're in injury time. That's the coach of the tourists, Skerry Palanga. A man with a big job on his hands, Mike, to build his team up, particularly bearing in mind they play Great Britain at the end of this 5-match tour.
Yes, he's only got another 4 to get itself organised.
There's the full-time siren. It's been a big night here in Wales as the Welsh Rugby League team were reborn. 68 points to nil. A record-breaking night here in the Principality, and the Welsh players take the applause from the 10,000 at the Vetch tonight. Wonderful night to be a Welshman here at the Vetch Field in Swansea. The players taking the applause from this 10,000 crowd, and why not? And David Bishop, who's enjoyed it more than most, I fancy, is with Peter Hutton.
David, what a great night for the side tonight.
Oh, it's fabulous. No one could have dreamed of such a fabulous club, and all good as dreamed at the end of it. In fact, I don't know what to call it, but we're all very proud to be a part of it. And as you can see, it's very proud of it. Just some special base company, and other person in the world.
You certainly seemed very emotional when you ran out there, but it must be especially important to get a nil against them as well.
Oh, it's very, that was the main thing with our son coming in and stuff. Whatever happens, there must be a shutout. Did Great Britain come into the court in the final fifth. But at the end of the day, obviously, everything went so well. But it's just a dream with Clive's been worrying all week. We've had a couple of injury problems all week in and out. And it just worked out so good. It's just a great night to be. I'm proud to be a Welshman tonight.
What do you want for the Welsh side now? Do you want to play England?
Obviously, that'd be our main aim. I mean, Australia, Great Britain are the best, especially England. But now I think we showed we got the strength to go on from here. There's a great camaraderie in the squad, and everything seemed well. I think we got our next match will be about France sometime in March, hopefully. If we put a good performance on tonight, we were so. But obviously, the penultimate would be to play England somewhere in Wales again.
A great night, though, and a great night for you and your family and the whole crowd here in Wales.
That's right, there was a lot on my family, my wife, I think my daughter's watching, Sam. And it's just, like I said, it's great to be Welsh. I'm proud to be home. And we had a tremendous reception of everyone. It's just, I'm proud to be Welsh. It's a great night.
Thanks a lot, David.
Thanks very much.
David Bishop, a great night for him, a great night for Wales, and they could now be going on to face France.
Well, they deserve to. I mean, the people came tonight. They wanted to see the skills, they wanted to see the enthusiasm, and they got it all. They got some wonderful tries. It was a wonderful effort. The team effort by Wales was exceptional. They've obviously put a lot of work into their build-up, even though it was very short. They didn't have a lot of time to get it all sorted out, but it really was excellent. I mean, the way that Ellis just controlled things. I mean, to be fair to the Papua New Guineans, they didn't put a lot of pressure on him. He had a lot of time to do things, but they produced run-rounds, different moves. It was a breath of fresh air.
It was indeed, and what a reception they got from this crowd here at Swansea tonight. They loved every minute of it, didn't they?
Yeah, well, it makes you want to sort of eat leeks for a full week, doesn't it? You know, they really are enthusiastic, and let's hope that instead of just talking about it, let's hope that we can build and bring rugby league on a permanent basis into the valleys.
Hear, hear, so say all of us. Right, competition time. Remember I told you at the start of the day that we'll be giving it you now. There it is, 2 replica jersey, 1 for Wales, 1 for PNG. Who's the present coach to the Welsh team? If you are listening and watching carefully, you'll know the answer. 0898 500 186. 0898 500 186. Ring us now, and you could well pick up a nice replica jersey. That's it. We've got the big one next week. Wigan and Leeds. Don't miss it here on Sky Sports. We shall see you 7 days' time at Central Park. Till then, from Mike and me, great night for Wales. Good night.